I didn't spend 6 hours creating this assignment, so you could tell me it's stupid. So I'm a hiring manager, which means I have a very unusual kind of power. I can ask a complete stranger to spend an entire weekend proving they deserve a job I haven't even offered them yet. I call it a take-home assignment. You call it your lost weekend. Nothing makes me feel more powerful than tasking a candidate with hours of unpaid labor and calling it an opportunity. Congratulations, you made it to the next round. Now go home, work for me, for free, and don't ask too many questions. Some people collect stamps. I collect other people's Saturdays. I keep them in my junk drawer. The take-home is a beautiful scam. It convinces everyone I'm evaluating competence when really I'm just testing how much unpaid suffering a person can tolerate. Call it what it is, an HR-sanctioned hazing ritual, a postgraduate hell week, less alcohol, more degradation. What can I say? It breaks up the monotony. I always tell candidates the assignment will take 3 to 5 hours. 3 to 5 hours. That's my favorite lie. And you have to say it with a completely straight face. 3 to 5 hours. My best victims routinely give me 14. 14 glorious hours of their brief earthly existence. And I design the data set very carefully. At first glance, it looks completely normal. Then you notice half the timestamps are in the future. Revenue is sometimes negative. There are 17 sources of error minimum. The data cleanup alone should eat up 3 to 5 hours. Do you see how rigorous this assessment is? Like a Bond villain, I set the trap. Then I walk away. I don't stick around to see what happens. I love not knowing if they'll survive. The suspense is intoxicating, so I surf the web to take the edge off. I give everyone the same assignment, same CSV, same grading scale. That's fairness. 3 kids, second job, sick parent, irrelevant. One guy's been unemployed 6 months and treats this like his personal Vietnam. 12 uninterrupted hours of deep focus versus 3 hours with a screaming toddler. Identical experimental conditions. Who am I to question the science? Some candidates, unfortunately, fail to read the room. They get cocky and start asking questions. What problem are we actually trying to solve? That's adorable. You think this is a dialogue. One guy wrote, "This is the wrong problem. We shouldn't build anything." Into the trash. I didn't spend 6 hours creating this assignment, so you could tell me it's stupid. Question the premise, and I scribble, "difficult to work with" in my notes, and move on. That's science. I know this because I have a spreadsheet. The assignment is built around a specific business task. Predict customer churn. That's it. Perfectly defined, no ambiguity whatsoever. Oh, and any clarifying questions you ask will be held against you. And I need you to understand something. I don't care how long the assignment takes. I care how long you say it took. 3 to 5 hours. That's the number I want. If you spend 14 hours, don't tell me. And please don't overdo it. If your submission is too polished, I get suspicious. But if your submission isn't polished enough, well, I'm afraid we're looking for someone with stronger attention to detail. So what I'm looking for is the precise amount of effort I personally consider reasonable. I will not tell you what that amount is. That's part of the assessment. And listen, if you use AI to help with the assignment, that's cheating. AI, like empathy, is completely excluded from this exercise, except when I use AI to grade it. That's called efficiency. Then you submit your assignment, and I review it. By review, I mean I open it. I scroll, I look at the first chart, I think, I scroll again, I see a typo, you're out. You spent 12 hours analyzing the business. I spent 11 seconds looking at the font. Times New Roman is not consistent with our hustle culture. Then I formally reject you 3 weeks later. You're clearly perplexed by this. And frankly, your inability to understand why I rejected you is one of the reasons I'm rejecting you. Look, I know what you're thinking. Does this actually predict job performance? Not remotely. And it's not supposed to. What I'm really measuring is whether if we bring you aboard, I can send you an email on Saturday night and have polished slides in my inbox before the 1 p.m. Bengals game. At the end of the day, I don't want the best data scientist. I want someone who suffers beautifully. I want candidates awake at 2 a.m., staring at a broken scatter plot, bargaining with their laptop. I want someone who understands that the real skill isn't solving the problem. It's making me feel smart for designing the process. That's the job we're hiring for. At the end of it all, I deliver the final verdict. Hiring for this position has been put on hold. Would you be willing to fill out a survey?